Then we get to the 39th gate, the sun in the 39th gate. It's all about provoking and teasing and being provocative and doing all that stuff. So we're going to start here with the famous 1-3 profile, the writing across of the tension, and the 1-3. So, the 1-3 is the gift of the 1-3 to be true mutative profile. It's the beginning of the profile chain, and as such demonstrates us to the unconscious level that there is no such thing as a solid foundation. That's why the 1-3 learns. It learns right away that there are relative foundations, and that they're relative in terms of time, construct, and quality and all. There is no absolute as far as the 1-3 is concerned. I have had an enormous influence on 1-3s, and my deep influences on 1-3s is that I've been able to present them with an absolute of the Maya that cannot fall apart, which is deeply impressive to them. Because the whole thing about the 1-3 is that the 1-3 learns that the moment it becomes out of the womb is that there are no absolute. But it's very important because what it means is that only the 1-3 naturally recognize that not only is the mutation and evolution something that's possible and likely, it's obvious. This is discovery at its deepest level. This is discovery into the foundation, what it is to be the form. That our forms are mutative forms. That the mitochondria in our cells once lived outside of them. After all, even our cells are the byproduct of a symbiosis that took place billions of years ago. We are evolved construct in the mind. One of the things that the 1-3 can grasp very early in life is this principle. This principle that yes, there is no real foundation, but there are many ways of seeing what a foundation actually is. There are many ways of seeing that foundation doesn't have to be a word that is an absolute. 4,217 years ago, God created the earth. There are creation, Christian fundamentalists who tell you that the only reason that we have found dinosaur bones is that God is trying to trick us. I love that. This is not somebody who came into with her son in this position. When you think that this is Cancerian, you think that this is Yin, you also have to see something about this. And I think that basically the men should leave the room. But anyway, they can stay, I guess. Basically, what this means is the advice that I give my daughter. I said to her, look for potential and shape it. You're never going to find what you want as a finished product. And every woman knows that deep in her soul is a need to shape the creature she's stuck with. It's deep in their soul, and it's right there in the 39th gate. It's in the 39th gate that says even they can evolve, even they can be shaped, because every woman knows that when she carries the fetus in her womb, that from the very first day until moment of transition, a soul starts off female anyway. The male is a mutation of the female. So deep in this female psyche is an understanding that what needs to be shaped in this life are men. We're moving towards duality. We're moving towards purpose. So while women are being born, recognize that men can be mutated into decent creatures, men are born imagining that they can mutate Mother Earth into a better planet or more efficient or whatever. Get shifted back to the yin, by the way. The men on the cross, cancer men, are odd anyway. But cancer men on this cross simply want to do the mother with the wife or the lovers doomed to them being shaped. It's their revenge. I'll shape the earth instead. Yeah, it's flat. So 1-3s, I love cancers. I've been married to three of them. I know them so well, deep well. There's a profound, deep matriarchal force that is found there. This is the roof of manifestation. It's the pressure of manifestation. It's the pressure on you to grow up and be a decent being. It's the pressure that there is on the yin principle itself, that are instrument on that form and its mutate capacity, and to be able to nurture it and all the rest, and to realize that they can do it without the other. The other is a stick of wood that needs to be fired up, that needs to be pushed and prodded and provoked in the room. You have a 1-3 child on this cross. They're going to drive you crazy. The great privilege I have in my life is my son Jiva. He's got the 30th to my 41. He's got the 19 to my 19. He is a 3955. He's got the 22 to my 12. He's an emotional conditioning atomic bomb. And he still lives. I don't explode when he becomes an aura. You can imagine with the 39 what a provocation it is. He's a cosmetic dentist, sounds of a drill. And what I love most of all about it, because it doesn't big me, is the twinkle in the eye when he's provoking you. There's this twinkle, there's this plea that says, I can mutate you. He's a 360 as well. I can mutate you any kind of day. I can mutate you right now, this moment. This is the power that's there, the extraordinary power to mutate. One of the things that people don't understand about attention is that if you don't resist the tension that you get from this being, they're driving mutative forces within you. They're helping you find your spirit. They're helping you find your purpose. They're helping you get it together. They're helping you find your skills. Oh, it doesn't feel like that. This is the horrible voice somewhere in the background that says, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. Yeah, yeah. It's not comfortable to have to do that. But what's they're not here for? This is a deep, deep, dark force. You've seen that throughout civilization. If you want to see the deepest, darkest feminine force, you'll find it here. Because this is the feminine force that never lost its power, never gave up into the patriarchy, never surrounded it to the father. I've always seen the father as their son. That's how powerful they are. And yet, when you see them in their life as the not self, it's a tragedy. Milk toast and weaklings and clingy people, afraid of mutation, afraid of transformation, beaten down for their provocation. A one-tree child is going to provoke its parents. You made a mistake. You made a mistake. You made a mistake. Whack, whack. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that now. I know better. I'm older than you. Then we get to the 1-4. Personality themes that have a first line. Please recognize education is everything. These are powerful forces. But again, when you have a child like this, you have to let them know that they don't have the right friends. It's the same thing with the force. The 2-4, the 4-6, the 4-1. We're going to see that there is on this cross. If you don't have the right friends, you're going to end up friendliness. And nothing is more painful than a friend being friendliness. It doesn't matter whether to have a 2 in front of it. It doesn't matter what any kind of concurrencies you are. A 4 is a 4 and 4, and they need their community, they need their opportunities. But the moment that you're a 1-4 and you're provocative as this is, then you really have to see that you're provoking your friends and they're not going to like it. Oh, he's so pushy. Oh, she's so pushy. And of course, for the child in psychology, they don't understand what's going on. They don't understand indeed what they're pushy, but it's not a fault, it's a gift. And they will learn how to use that gift, education. Learn how to be discreet. Learn when to say a thing. Learn how to say a thing. Learn how to get to mutative information across. Be a little bit more subtle. Don't scream in the fancy restaurant that you be taken to when your father picks up the wrong fork. Don't scream, that's not right. Don't you know how to use a fork? Oh, death, indigestion for the weak. For the father. Never go back to the restaurant as long as he lives. The environments that he can suffer as a parent with one of these, they're very provocative. So education is very important for them to understand that they are like. In other words, I don't tell my kids to stop pushing my button. I don't tell my little one to stop pushing my button. He's gotten me to a point that I'm not apoplectic with my rage. But if I give him enormous leeway, I tell him something and he'll totally ignore me. Watching for that, I'm going to get him and say, no, no, no. And he'll keep on doing this thing. It will go and go on because he will write at the time to provoke as long as he possibly can. It's one of the things for them to know it's not the object to him provoking me. I object to him provoking for me too long. He knows there's a time limit to what I can handle. All right, you're good at this. This is good. And he also knows that he often, because of what he would provoke me endlessly, he knows that at a certain time he can say things to me and I will respond immediately. It's like I've got it now. He mutates me into becoming more considerate father. It's so easy for someone like me to be absorbed in my process in my studio, and then it's a little voice in the wilderness somewhere in the house screaming, I'm hungry. And I know the moment that I hear that I don't get up and I get this little guy some food, he will not go get it himself. He will keep on calling intermittently. He will begin to sound like some barbarian, Biafran. There will be these cries and moans and groans and outrage, and no matter what I try to do, it's not going to stop until it's fed. I have tried things like that to get yourself. It doesn't work. After all, he's here to provoke me, not the other way around. It's impossible for me to provoke him. I tried, you can't. As a matter of fact, it's terrible. Because if I try to provoke him, he's better than I'm at this game. He immediately turns it around on me. I don't bother. He's the boss, right? He mutates me into being a more considerate father. I'm very aware of that. I go upstairs. I make a sandwich. Make sure he has his food. Can I go now? No, 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 no. I managed to say things like, you can say thank you. What do you say? What do you do with the one personality for years? Used to, people used to claim me that I'm an authority. I have first lines that I'm supposed to do. Pretend I'm not, and here my two boys with the personality first lines. And here is a I'm hungry. Here's a command. No request, no nothing. This is manifest the world. They like having a manifesting father, these little generators. I become the super, 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 super slave.